Checklist, simplify, and demystify. Okay, right here is a checklist of a current client that our company's working with. Here is another one. Okay, their name isn't shown. This is a checklist, all right? This is very important to you if you're gonna be successfully self-employed. Also, too, stay tuned for the very end for a surprise. Okay, remember, checklist, simplify, and demystify. As you're doing your work, you were hired to do a certain amount of tasks. You could call it a checklist. By creating a checklist, being self-employed, you're going to make your job easier, you're gonna make more money, and you're gonna be able to learn a lot about yourself, things you're probably wanting to do anyway, okay? By writing down everything you do, you're able to see the things that are really important and you're able to see the things that are not important. It helps you not to forget and it helps you to stand out and to look as good as possible just by having a checklist, okay? Most of the people you're working with, whether it's your job or you have a business, are doing everything from their head. That's a mistake, okay? Saw a quote somewhere that said, your mind should be a fire to kindle, not an attic to put things in, and completely agree. Your mind should be something that creates and extrapolates and does other things besides just keeping track of information. The first thing, one reason why you should keep a checklist is to make your life easier, to simplify, to see all your tasks, to see where most of your energy should be concentrated. The second, it demystifies, okay? It takes it truncates your, and this kind of, it's concomitant to simplifying your life, is that it takes away all the complication you give to your job. You're able to see the crux of what you do, okay? As you simplify, and then that simplification leads to demystification. You're like, oh, I'm not worried that much anymore because this is all I have to do, okay? Once you can name that mountain, you can claim that mountain, you can climb that mountain, okay? The mountain of work you have in front of you, if you're like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you see it in your checklist, and then you should have it every day with you. Using a pencil to go over it is that you're doing everything. You're not gonna forget anything, okay? You're gonna make life easier for the person you're working with because you never have to ask them anything because you have all your information for you. It shows that you have your stuff together. A checklist is a good indication that someone has their stuff together. You really can't lose having a checklist. It just may be administratively annoying sometimes carrying around with you, but if you just get a small binder such as this, got some checklists in here, keep this with me and take it with me every single time I go work with somebody, it really helps. Okay, and also too, a really important value to having a checklist is that you're gonna be able to compare the original duties that they had for you to the new ones they want from you. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. You're able to compare the original duties that they had for you to the ones that they have for you now. And if you can show that, hey, what I've been doing has been increasing, but my pay hasn't. And remember, when you're self-employed, your pay is very flexible and fluid and can happen fast. Okay, this is one reason to have a checklist to document. I was doing 13 tasks at the beginning. Now I'm doing 17, but still getting paid for those 13. Let's increase the price by $200 a month. And if you can show logically that, hey, I'm doing more and y'all are getting more from it, you're gonna make more money. And a checklist will show that, but you gotta have the discipline, the wherewithal to say, hey, I need to keep this original checklist and compare it to this future one. About 3 to 6 months, anything within that time frame should show there should be a difference. And if you're doing your job, they're gonna ask you to do more. Because most people are overburdened, most companies are overburdened. They're looking for people who can handle it. If you can handle the small, you can handle the big, as the Bible says, and just go from there. And so that should help you in your self-employment journey. But having checklists is very important, okay? Because your mistakes are what are gonna keep you from being successfully self-employed ultimately. Whether it's peccadillos or small foibles you make, they're gonna keep you from where you wanna go. If you keep a checklist, it'll decrease those mistakes. And in our next video, Saturday's video, we're gonna talk about mistakes and how to approach them and how to learn from them in a interesting way. So stay tuned for Saturday's video. But yeah, keep a checklist to simplify, demystify, and quantify what you do so you can qualify for a raise, okay? Checklist will help you to reinforce the image of competence that you showed at the interview. Okay. And it'll give you it'll give you tremendous peace of mind knowing that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and it lets you see everything so that you can demystify what needs to be done. So, as aforementioned, it's a complete win. Now, this goes to the next, our surprise is that you create your own space. And a checklist is going to help you to create your own space. It's going to show them that you have your stuff together. You're going to be making life easier for them. And you'll be making your life easier too, just by keeping track of all of your tasks. It just requires awareness and organization, Excel and Excel spreadsheet. And you speed fine as you create your own space and become more and more self-employed. And as you get more and more clients, the less and less you want to use this as an attic and more as a fire to kindle, an empty room for just creativity. Instead of a place where papers and boxes and random items are stacking up and you have to rummage through on a consistent basis to find anything. How often are you at work or with clients and someone's got to rummage through to find a piece of paper, to find to find an email that they received, be organized and be efficient. And one way to do that is with a checklist. Okay. Very simple thing that can give you tremendous results. Okay. Bye.